Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Jade, I'm the 310 Stitcher, and this is not a regular floss tube video. It's a video where you can watch me assemble my Painting Fairy cross stitch floor stand. I have a little bit of an unboxing at the beginning, and then I assemble a stand afterwards. I did it for a couple of reasons. One is that the video that Painting Fairy puts together for assembling this is done in fast forward motion and very close up, so it's not really useful because you don't know which of the different length of aluminum pieces to use with which connectors that they're doing, right? They just showed you the aluminum piece that they're using without telling you which one it is, and you just see the close-up, and it's done super fast. And secondly, I wanted it for myself as well in case I ever have to take this thing apart, if I'm moving or whatever. If I ever have to take it apart and then put it back together, I will have something to follow along with because I wasn't able to see anything else. Now, a couple things I want to mention. Yeah, this is a really long video. It took a very long time to put this stand together, so pack your patience. I have a couple of tips that I want to say. Well, actually, also because the stand is so big, I am out of frame sometimes, but if you keep watching, you'll be able to see what pieces I use, and I try to talk about which pieces I use. I refer to the picture a lot and show you what I'm doing, so you should be able to follow along if you want to. Some points I'm not talking, I'm just concentrating, but it should be easy to follow along. There's a couple of things. Okay, the number one thing I would say is, like I said, pack your patience, and if you can, have a second person help you, because yeah, you gotta hold pieces still, like multiple pieces still, and hold them together while you're tightening them, and you don't have a lot on these aluminum lengths. There's not a, like, there are some grooves, but they're not very deep, so it's not super simple to put it all together. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very frustrating experience, partly because of the lack of instructions, and partly because the pieces just are not great, especially the small square pieces that are made up of two triangular pieces that you use to connect two bars crossways. And there was a lot of cursing putting that thing away. So what else? It is worth it in the end. Okay, I'm really happy with it. I've been using this stand every day for the past week. I'm loving it. I really enjoy it. But I just did want to say that putting it together is a very frustrating experience. Painting Fairy, if you're watching this, please, 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 please put together a video that is in real time, not super fast, and talk about it. Say which length of piece you're using, which piece you're using with, and which connector, and also give some spacing. So it's fantastic. The image that comes with it is fantastic in that it has the length of each piece shown on it, but it would be great if it shows the distance, like how far apart do those vertical bars have to go. We don't really know, and so that made the frustration bigger because it meant that you had to take things apart and put them back together multiple times before you got it right. Also, if you're putting this together, you will need a measuring tape because, like I said, there are different pieces. There are different length pieces, so have a measuring tape with you so that you can make sure you're using the right one. They do provide 2 Allen keys. Look for those in with the connectors and the screws. I missed them at first because I didn't want to open the package too much and have everything fly everywhere, but dig around because they are in there. You need lots of space to put this together. 2 people, definitely. Lots of loosening and tightening and loosening and tightening and loosening and tightening. So like I said, pack your patience. Yes, I was having a little bit of trouble breathing during putting this together. I didn't notice until afterwards, but my apologies for that. And the other thing I would say is that they say that it's fully adjustable. It is definitely adjustable, but you have to know what you're doing, which pretty much means putting the stand together the first time, which will probably be wrong and not the way that you want it, and then having to take pieces apart again to adjust it to where you want it. So that just makes things even longer. And also the arms don't rotate inwards to accommodate different lengths of scroll frames. It's the whole thing is pretty wide. If you have a 36-inch scroll frame, it won't fit on there. You'll need to find a different way. And at the end of the video, I do show you actually how I managed to modify one of my scroll frames to fit on it. That was too small. But the alteration that you could make is the back pieces, like you can actually make the thing half as wide, because the horizontal pieces that make up the width of the stand actually are composites. There's 2 pieces for each one, so you could take one of them apart and make it half as wide, which would make the stand about 18 inches wide. Anyway, all of this I will be saying in the video. I did cut out some sections where I was just, pausing and reflecting and trying to figure out what was what, so I took that out. And I also took out the pieces where I was swearing a lot. Anyway, I would love to hear how this goes together with you. Like I said, in the end, totally worth it. I love it. I love the stand. It's a high quality stand. And I'm totally happy with it. I just really, really, really hope that I never have to pull it apart and then have to put it back together, because that part's very frustrating. All right. So enjoy and let me know how it goes for you. Okay, so I just got this package from Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. Let me show you something that actually, here it is. Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. And I thought I haven't even opened it yet, other than to other than just open this. But one of the things I'm really excited about in here is their floor frame that I ordered. So that's what it's going to look like. And I purchased this to use with my larger scroll frames, because right now I have a daylight stand, which is similar to a Lowry stand, but yeah, it's not great with the scroll frame. So I wanted to try something different, and I did order a couple of things. So let's have a look. Okay, I'm not sure what this is for. So I did not order any of their floss, but that's cool. It comes in with the plastic thread sorters that I really enjoy, and they use the DMC numbers. Now that's cool. I'll open that in a minute. They did send this, so this they use so it's mercerized and stuff in Italy. And it is cotton yarn. It's Egyptian cotton yarn that uses the same numbers as DMC. So they have 482 colors, which is cool. I am curious to try it. Now their cotton is about, I believe, about 30 cents US maybe. And I usually buy CXC threads these days, which is about 7 or 8 cents. So it's a little bit more, but if you're looking for something that was closer to DMC. Okay, so I did order a, I think, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 kits from them. This is what the threads were for. Okay. I don't even remember because I placed this order about a month ago, and this particular package went AWOL for a little bit. But there it is. It looks like Hogwarts. It's actually called Hogwarts Castle. I don't think I can move this in, but there it is. So the code, in case you're looking for it, is ZZ7254, Hogwarts Castle. I thought that was just beautiful, and I really wanted it, so I will open that. I got that in 16 count. Well, let's just have a look here. I'm curious. Okay, so first of all, one of the things I look at is to see how clear the symbols are. And they look really good. They're all on the actual boxes. So sometimes what happens is when the printing process is not great, and then you get symbols overlapping into the next box, and then you don't really know where stuff goes. This all looks really good. Nice and clear. Let's have a look at the symbols. This thing is really big. And I'm not going to be able to show the whole thing. It is large. All right, so here's a list of symbols. So check out the border. Here's the border on the sides, and then look at the border on the top. So that's awesome. They're not stingy like a lot of stamped kit companies are, which is fantastic. The legend is very clear to see. And by the way, the edges are all serged, which is fantastic as well. So we don't have to worry about them fraying. Okay, so I'm gonna just, so it is like most, it's a little bit stiff, but not, I would say it's firm, like not really stiff. So I think this is going to be good. It's not like some of them where they're so starchy they feel like plastic. It doesn't feel like that. Okay. And I believe it also comes with the pattern. The little taggy thing, slidey things come off. There we go. Okay. So there again is the photo. Beautiful. We've got all the legend again. Couple of pages there. There's a lot of colors. I just should have counted, but I don't know. Oh, okay, so they're numbered here. So there's 92. Is there another page? There is. So there's 113 colors in this kit. So it should be good. So yeah, so there's the pattern as well. So in case something happens and you get water on the canvas, you can still look it up through the pattern itself, which is fantastic. I'm just going to put that back in the bag so it doesn't come apart. I'll have to staple them or something. Okay, so that's what the threads are for. These are beautiful colors. I won't bother taking it out. I mean, we all know what floss looks like, and the colors look beautiful. Lots of purples and grays and browns, golds. Awesome. Okay, so that's one. Let's see what else we have here. So, okay, so this is a little freebie. I've been seeing other people show these. So these come with all of their packages. Okay, I don't know where my big scissors went, so I'm gonna do something I would get really mad at my kids doing and use my embroidery scissors to cut that open. Okay, so we have a set of needles. Those are, oh, there's two sets. That's why it looks so long. I was gonna say they look really long, but there's actually two sets in there. So there's size 28, so that's fantastic. That's a size I like to use. Then we have these bobbies or whatever. So if you park, you can use these. I've never used those things, so I'm curious to try them. And then a pair of embroidery scissors with the, you can see the point is curved there, so you can get really close to the canvas to cut your thread and not have to worry. And then there's these things here, which I had ordered a set before realizing that for me they're pretty useless because they have holes in them and my needle would just get stuck in those holes, which is counterintuitive. So I wish they didn't have these particular holes. Having said that, I have used them. You know what I've used these for? Is sometimes, I don't know if you, when you run your thread on the back to end it, you run it underneath other threads. And sometimes I have a really hard time grabbing the end of the needle and pulling it through on the other sides. And I have used these very successfully with that. It helps to grip. So that's what I would use these for. Okay. So that's it for the little freebie kit. Okay, now. So this stuff looks like it's all part of the frame. So, I can't see what you're saying. Adjustable floor standing embroidery frame. So let's see what's in here. And I'm going to pause and grab my scissors. Okay. Okay, so by the way, the stuff is, I mean, you can see how well packaged it is. Yeah, there's a lot of wrapping. Like this is a bubble wrap envelope, and we've got bubble wrap around it. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so this looks like a bunch of joints and stuff. I'm not going to open this one quite yet. Don't want to lose any. Okay. All right. So I did get the version with the phone holder. You could buy it without, but you can buy the attachment with the phone holder as well as an attachment for the threads. So just to go back to here, this is the phone holder here. So it just attaches, which is great, or tablet, I should say. And then here's the attachment for your threads. I did not get this, but I did get the tablet holder because I find that to be very, very helpful, even on my needle bead stand. I like not having to, like, I like just looking up and looking at the pattern as I'm stitching, as opposed to having to look side to side. Looks like more freebies. Oh no, it's not. I did order this actually. Okay, so I ordered these two things. One is they were selling the Sullivan's Easy Guide ball tip needles for significantly less than I can get them on Amazon. So I bought those in size 28, so that's good. I actually broke the ball off of the last pair I used. And then I purchased this because they were absolutely gorgeous on site. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Okay. So these are copper scissors. But that's not all. Check this out. So they come with a chain and the sheath for the scissors. Isn't that awesome? I'm always struggling with where to put the scissors. I don't like keeping them on the needle minders because then they interfere. I don't know, they keep, when I pull them off, the needle minders tend to come off as well. So this is cool. I could just put it on my neck, but aren't they beautiful? The turquoise. Oh, and they snap in there pretty good. So that's awesome. I thought these were beautiful. All right. Okay, I'm excited about those. All right, next. Oh. All right, so it looks like these are the hooks if you buy the attachment for the threads. So I didn't buy the attachment, but I can use those hooks for my threads. If you guys have watched my video before, then you know that I have a closet behind me. Okay, so we have other pieces. Let's see if there's anything else in here. No. Okay. So I'm going to pause this and I am going to open everything up and then we're going to try to set this up together. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a sec. That took a while. Here's all the pieces that came with it. So I'm going to pause again just to check on whether there are instructions. There's none in the box, but apparently there's supposed to be a QR code somewhere. They also, I know for the frames, they have a video on YouTube as to how to install them. So I'm just going to look for one here. Otherwise, we're just going to try to figure it out ourselves. Okay, and there is, in fact, there's a QR code that, yeah, so there's a QR code actually directly for it. So I'm going to play that and try to do this. I may speed this up. Speed up this video, just otherwise it's probably gonna be too boring. Okay, it finally came up for me. So it is indeed for the stand. Now, they go really fast, so I'm gonna have to pause it. Okay, but which piece did we do that with? That's not very good. Okay. Okay, so this is not very good because they're not showing you which pieces to use. And as you can see, there's a heck of a lot of them. All right, I'm gonna have to try to figure this out from the picture. From this picture. All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just stop this. Okay. Okay, so that was kind of useless. All right, now what I'm gonna need is my little measuring tape. Okay. Oh. So I know those are for the phone or the tablet holders. I'm not gonna touch those for now. In fact, oops, I'm gonna put those together with this stuff here. Okay. So these are 50. Those are 42. So 50. So we need 2 of the 50s on the bottom. Okay, so we need one of these. I'm just gonna move these over here. Okay. Oh, they're different. Look at that. Okay. So I'm thinking that these are these ones here. Can you even see that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking that these are these ones here, the verticals, because they don't have the grooves. Unlike these ones, which have the grooves. Okay. So we need that. And we need some of these things. Now, are these all the same? No. It's not this. I think it's these ones here. Okay. And where are all the screws? I think they're in here. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it that these instructions really are not great. Okay, so, well, they're non-existent, actually. So, are these supposed to slide in here? Doesn't quite reach. Oh, maybe it does. I have a feeling this is going to be a frustrating process. Okay, so maybe. If I do this, does it then slide in? No. Let me see again what they did. Okay, so first of all, okay, so I think, all right. So they actually did take one of these without the grooves, and they did this. I have a feeling this is going to be a frustrating process. Try Okay, I don't know how this is supposed to fit in here. Oh. I don't know if you noticed, but in the video it goes in really easy. Not a single one are going in easy. Let's try another one. Okay, so far I'm going to say this has been a frustrating experience. However, I'm not giving up. I couldn't find a Robertson that would work, but I did find that with just a flat head, it does, if you put it on an angle, it does turn. So I was able to open this up a little bit. So this should work now. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so if I do that, right, okay, now I should be able to tighten it back up. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, and I put those little screws in my pocket. Okay, so it wanted us to do okay. Okay. So I have a feeling that's these pieces here. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's see what else they had to. Well, I'm gonna right. Then they had these ones on the top. Okay, and I'm gonna have the same issues. So let's open that up a little bit. There we go. I was really worried there that I was going to have to contact them and ask them to send me either new ones or the tool. But since I can use the flathead, it'd be good. Assuming this will go in. There we go. All right, now tighten this back up. Okay. See, they come flush. I don't know if you can see this, but they come flush together, right? But when they need to be a little bit open, or they need to be a little bit bigger. But anyways, now it's there. Okay, so it's one. I think we have to do one more. Okay. Oops, wrong side. There we go. Okay. Oh, I gotta do the screws here. Where'd they go? Oh, haha. They actually give you 2 of these in the package. They were just buried at the back, so I didn't see them. So I wonder if those would work. Okay. So we have these 2 done. Now, put those back over there. Okay, so to get this in, it's got to be a little looser. Oops. Okay, so I think this goes in here, and this goes in here. I don't know how far, so we won't tighten it too much. Looks like from the picture, it looks like about there. Tighten it enough so that it stays for now. Okay, let's do the same. What you doing, Smoky Poke? Oh. Okay, I'm not tightening them too much because I don't know what the spacing is supposed to be like yet. Given that we have to do 2 of these, I may have to adjust, so. Okay, so there's that. So we have to do this again. So I'll put this to the side. Okay. Grab my coffee. Okay. So let's try the Allen key. Aha! It does work. Excellent. So when you get this, make sure you look at the very bottom of all this stuff because they were kind of hidden there. Okay. This one. Okay, that's not moving. Let's try another one. Go. I just realized something, that based on the picture, this has to go this way. Yeah, okay. I don't know how that's gonna work. Okay, maybe I gotta open it more. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it does matter what direction they go in. This has to be on the same axis as the bottom plate. Okay, so I think I have to, oh no, I actually did it correctly on the other ones. That's good. Unintentionally, but all right, so that's one. Okay. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, now those screws. Okay. Oops. I'll loosen them a bit more. Okay. Okay, let me see. There we go. Okay. All right. So we gotta go in sideways. Okay. Sideways and sideways. Cut. And we can tighten this up a little bit. Just so it doesn't come out. We're gonna have to adjust it, I'm sure. Oh shoot. So that did. This one moved on me. Let's see if I can. No, I have to take the whole thing out. It moved lengthwise, so it just pops right out. They gotta go in sideways so that they can grip the metal when you tighten it. I just did it again. Okay, now we're good. All right, so we've done these two. I hope they're done correctly. We've got basically the base done. There's one that goes across, so that's 42 centimeters plus 42 centimeters. Interesting. Does that mean you got to put two together? But I don't see a way to do that. Okay, let's see. Whoa. So okay, so we need the 50 centimeter piece. Okay. There it is. All right, so we need one of these. Okay, and we need this. I might have screwed this up. I did screw this up. I have to take these top ones off. One of them anyways, on each set. Looks like you gotta loosen every single one. Like so. They don't tell you how far down, but let's assume it's there. Okay, and then we need, ouch. Okay, then we need another 50 centimeter piece, which was these, right? Nope. This one. Okay. Okay. This one gets this on top. Hold on. Just to be tightened a bit more. There we go. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So far, assuming this is correct. All right. So I have to do the same thing on this side. So this has to come off. Wait, no, sorry, hold on. Nope. That is, okay, so this, what we've just done is this and this and this. Okay, so let me do the same thing to the other side. Let me just put this over here for now. Okay. Okay. This has to come off. Okay, we need another one of those couple things. Right. Looks like every single one of these you gotta loosen in order to get them on. All right, there. Nope, can't loosen it yet. I need this. Okay, there. Now I can tighten this. Right, so we've done this, has this thing on it, this has that. I don't know how these ones go on, but we'll see in a minute. Oh, not sure, we'll figure it out. Okay, so I have to put oops. Oh, I didn't tighten that enough. I'll fix that in a second. I'm trying to do this in a way that I don't scratch my floors. Okay. Hi, monkey. Okay. So this slid all the way down. So let's tighten that first. I didn't want to tighten them too much because we probably have to adjust. Okay. All right, so we have 2 of these now. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces somewhere, these ones. These ones here come with an elastic wrapped around them. They come with these things here. All right, now let's see what they, just rewind that just a second. Okay, so they thread the nut on. Okay. Okay, hold on. So they thread the knot on halfway. Interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but okay. And they don't show you where they're putting that in. They just show one of the ends of these, which, who knows, it could be any. Let's see here. Okay, I think here, I think it's one of these cross pieces because they say 42 centimeters plus 42 centimeters. So let's just see. That must be these ones. 42. Okay, so we need 2 of these. Okay, so we're going to connect these. Okay. Then what? Okay, so then, where's the other Allen key? Okay, so then they show using the other Allen key to tighten this up, which I don't, how does that even, that makes no sense to me. Oh, there, one side of it had that, okay. Okay. And I've tightened that pretty good, so I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Okay. All right. Next. Oh. Okay, so it's showing we need 2 of these. So, okay, so I'm gonna put that one aside for now, right? This is good, yep. Okay, put that one aside. I need 2 more. Okay, 3 of these things, okay. I like that they have the appropriate nut and little screw there inside these things, so it's, you don't have to go trying to figure out which is which. Okay, so first things first. So with this thing, one side is flat, the other side has the space for the Allen key, which is what I didn't see the first time. Okay, so you put it in halfway, put it through there, put that one on there, put it through one of these things. Okay. Okay, I've tightened that again pretty good. So now we have 2 of the 42 plus 42. That almost looks like it's bowed in the middle of it. Hopefully that's just my eyesight. Okay. And then we need a 42 plus a 50. So that's one of these. And one of these, I believe. Let's just make sure. 50, 42. Okay, good. So okay, so put it in halfway. My fingers are getting stained silver from the metal. It's okay. It'll just wash off. All right, so through this one. And, right, yeah. And through this one. Okay. Allen key. Okay. There we go. So now we have, as he shows there, we've got 2 of the same size and 1 that's a little shorter. All right, now what? Okay, so he's laying the first pieces we put together one on top of each other. So let's put these out of the way. Okay, move this out of the way. So he's got this. Let's move those out of the way too. Give me a little more space here. Okay. 1. All right. And number 2. Okay, so, all right, so I gotta move 1. So, I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can. Let me just check. Okay, so you can't see quite, but let's see here. So we're lined up on this side, but I have to move that one of them so that they line up evenly. Okay, so let me do that. That's why I didn't want to tighten them too much to start. Okay, I need this one. I don't know how far these are. I wish they would tell you. I wish they would tell you how far they need to be from each other, but I'm gonna move this one in, I think. If I can manage it, we'll see. Whoa, no, I guess I didn't have to. I guess I didn't need the Allen key. What is happening? Okay, so now the one back here is lined up, and I'm going to tighten it, I think, before I move forward, because I don't want it to move again. That's not the Allen key, that's a smaller one. Or not. Nope, I need a bigger one. Okay, I'm gonna really tighten these. Okay, so that one is the same. This one needs to be pushed back just a little bit. I just really want to line them up correctly. Okay. Okay. Tighten that bottom one. those are lined up. Now, these ones. Okay, those are lined up now. And last one. Okay. All right. Now, these are not lined up. Okay. Something is not right. Oh, shoot. I was loosening it instead of tightening it. That would be why. Okay. Put that back on. Now. What is happening? Okay. This one has to just move up. So this top piece just has to be, I'm trying to line them up with the bottom ones so that they're equal. There we go. Okay. Again, that wasn't very helpful. Okay, so let's have a look. So, okay, so I need to put one of these aside for a minute. Okay, so the other thing I just noticed in the video is that they have caps in the ends of these things. They're kind of they're hard to see, but they're kind of shown interesting. They don't have them on the bottom. They do have them on the top. So I guess we could put these on later. But they do have them on the end of that big one. So let's see how these go. There. Oh, I need to tighten this a little more. It's being a little squiggly. There we go. There, I thought I had done it tight. All right, and one more back here. I won't put them on the other ones yet because it's hard to tell from the, I don't think that those go on the other two because they have other connectors. So we'll just hold on to the rest. Now, so we have a piece that goes, I don't know if you can see that, but we do have a piece that goes from this back to this. So let's see if we can find out which ones those are. I have no idea. Is it these? Nope. It looks like it should be these. Let's rewind. Oh, okay, so it's these ones here. And okay, so there's caps on these ones. I'll put caps there. Okay. Now, so that's that one. So this it goes onto the end of the 42 by 42, so one of the shorter ones. Okay. And then, okay. All right, I guess I could have still done this, but so it's that one. So it goes here. Okay. All right. Is that even working? Oh, it just came off. I have to make sure it stays gripping onto the ridges. Why is it not tightening? It's on there. Nothing is happening. It's not tightening. Why? Let's try from the other side. Okay. Okay. All right, that's stuck on there. I have no idea if this is correct. I think it's that one. So now I have to connect it to the other side. Okay. This would be a lot easier if I was on the table. Okay, so let's put it this way. Let me put something under my floors. I don't want it to scratch my wood floors. Okay. Oh. Okay. So now I need this side. Oh. Okay. Just gotta tighten that. Okay. First of all, let's just put this on here. There. All right, where did that Allen key go? Let's tighten this. Let me see. Is that the right side? Nope. This side. That's still moving. Why? Still moving. Let's see. Right. Oh, jeez. Let's try loosening it a bit first. Okay, now we're stuck. Whew. All right. Okay, so this way. Okay, now I need another one of these. Okay. Oh, has to go this way. This would be easier with two people. All right. And nope, I'm gonna flip it around so I can use the Allen wrench. Or the Allen key, I mean. Okay. There we go. Okay. 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 There. That's on. Okay. Right. So right now we're looking at it. So we've built this bottom, this double piece. We've just added this one. Now we're going to add this one. So this is also the 42 plus 42, so that other shorter one. And that looks like it's going to be exactly the same as this. So let's just go ahead and do that one. There it is. Okay. Because then the top one will be a little different. So we'll do these. I have to move things around a little bit again. So I'm going to grab the shorter one. Okay. Okay, so okay, so goes on there. Okay, I'm going to do the other side, which you won't be able to see. Okay. Okay, now, all right, tighten that up. Okay, so that one's done. Oh, all right. So we've got both of those done. So now we've got this one done, this done, we've got this, and we still have to do the diagonal and then this piece, and then the phone stand. So let's see what they do next. Okay, so my phone died, so I'm not sure, but I'll how much you saw of that, but I just did the bottom cross piece here. I'll pop in a little video showing the whole thing. But anyway, so okay, so my phone died while I was doing this. I'm not sure how far I got right now, so I'll just show you real quick. Pardon the mess everywhere. I'm working with limited space, but this is the stand that we're doing. And what we've done so far is we've done, let me see if I can make this work. So we've done the bottom and the front and back piece, vertical pieces. And we've done the middle horizontal piece. So can I get it there? The middle horizontal piece. Okay, let me just show you. So here we are. So it's on its back right now, essentially. There's one of my spinning wheels with the fluff I'm spinning. And then on this side, same thing. Okay, so we have to do the back to the picture. We have to do the diagonal pieces, one on each side, then the crossbar and the back bar, and then the phone tablet. Let's see what they have next. That's the bottom piece, which I just did. Okay, let's stand this up. Okay, I'm a little worried about this. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so they are just putting that piece on, which I've already done, which is, so what they're doing now is they're doing the top piece here, I believe. Okay, so let me see if I can move this so you guys can see it. Okay. So I need to move this ball. Does it, or I need the Allen key. Where is it? There it is. Okay. No, that's not the one. There we go. Let's move that a bit. Okay. It needed to be horizontal. Okay, so now we slide this. I need this to be bigger. Okay. Not yet. Let's do it this way instead. Okay. There we go. How far? Just to have it a little bit out, right? Oops, sorry. Okay, so that's in. I'm going to do the other side. Right. Got to loosen this again. Okay, so it looks like I had to push. Oh, sorry. Gonna move this down a bit so it reaches. There we go. Shoot! There, so it goes right at the edge. Okay. Okay, come on. Okay. So that's done. Next. So next, I think, is, oh shoot, I have to tighten that, one sec. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's make sure this one is tight as well. Okay. All right, so next I think is going to be the diagonal piece from here to here. So let's have a look if that's what they do. Okay, so first of all, he's tightening it straight up. So let me do that. Because right now I have it sideways. Straighten that up. Tighten it back up. So, oops. So there, I've just straightened it up like he did. Okay. Now he's getting some other piece. Let's go look at that. Okay, the piece he grabbed is this piece here. So first of all, we got to loosen it just like the other ones. Oh, my hands are really dirty from this metal. Okay. I don't know if I have to loosen this one too, but we'll do that. Okay. So, according to the picture, these pieces are the 50 centimeters. So let me grab those. It's on the top. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so he puts that on. Looks like that's going to be right at the edge. And then he puts this one over top. Sorry, I know this is very close for you guys, but that's as tall as the stand goes. I think I might have to loosen this a little bit more. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, so I've got to move you guys back. Okay, let me just tighten this first so it stays, and then I will Come on now. Tighten up, would ya? Okay, where's the other one? Back there. I'm gonna have to move you guys. Okay, so I'll show you. I couldn't, with the frame, I couldn't get with the frame in the way, I couldn't show you actually putting it on, but this is essentially what that piece looks like. So you had to first of all loosen it. There's two screws, one there and one on this side. Ignore all the stuff. Okay, so you had to have them both loose. Slide it onto here first, make sure it's connected to the groove, and then holding it, because you can't tighten it yet, so holding it there, you had to slide this one onto the grooves. Make sure it's connected in there, and then hold it in place while you tighten both pieces. This would be a heck of a lot easier with two people, I'll say that much. But anyways, it's in there. And so this is the top horizontal piece. Okay, so next, so we've just done these pieces here. We have this one already there. We have to do these two diagonal pieces. Okay, so connect them to this piece, which is there, this piece, and that one. So let's see how they do that. Okay, let's try it. So I believe he's using yes, he's using these because we have to put the diagonal pieces. So we have that already in place. We need this here, and then we're going to need another one on the other end. So we'll start with that. Let's see here. Maybe I can turn this around. Like I said, this would be a lot easier with two people. Let's see. It would be great if the stand was a bit taller. Okay. So this. Okay, so we've only got two pieces left of these. Okay, so first of all, gotta loosen them up again. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There we go. Okay, so What is happening? Okay, so that's on there tight. Now, might actually, because this is really, oh, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's loose enough. We'll see. Okay, so, oh boy. That's in the back. Okay. All right, so here's where I have made a mistake. So you see these two pieces here? They're one right on top of the other. But if you look at the image, this piece, the diagonal, is supposed to be in the middle of those two. So I actually have to loosen this, drop it down a little bit to allow for this one to go in. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Like I said, I wish they, on the diagram, they'd put the measurements so that you can actually do it correctly the first time, but they don't. Okay, and the other one too. Drop it to about there. Guess if I need to adjust it after, I can. And while I'm at it, I'm going to raise this one right up to the top. There we go, like there. So that's what the picture shows. Okay, so now there's enough space. Hopefully you can see that. Oh. All right, so now, I'm sorry this isn't the best angle to do this at, but hopefully, here, let's raise this out of the way. Okay, so hopefully it's loose enough that I can get this in there. I can. Oh, interesting. So, actually, there is enough space to put them side by side. Okay. Well, let's leave it there. Okay. Come on. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. This would be a heck of a lot easier with two people. Okay. All right, now this one. Okay, can you see that? Yes, okay. So now I have to connect this to here. And this one I have to loosen. Oh, maybe I don't have to. I think I might though. You know, the question is, okay, I was just checking here. So we need to, or sorry, because you couldn't see that. I was just looking here to see how that piece goes. All right, so I probably have to loosen. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to loosen this. Okay. Let's see if that'll go in. A little bit more. Oh, sugar. I guess I loosened it too much. Put the nut back on. Okay. All right. So is it seated in there? Yeah. Okay. Nope. It just came out. You need a lot of space for this. Okay. Okay, so that one's connected. So now I see, okay, so this and this need to be this and this need to connect, right? So, all right, I didn't do that tight enough, but so they need to connect. So I need to move this leg in so this can move up a bit. Okay. Oh my goodness. So let's do that. This is very frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's see. I'll just leave it there momentarily until I put this thing back on. So I gotta put this back on. What a pain in the ass. Okay. Okie dokie. Not gonna lie, this is very annoying. Definitely would be easier with two people. But okay, so I just slid that on. Now I've got to slide this on. So there. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up. That one doesn't tighten very well. Come on now. Okay. All right, so, okay. Something is moving. What's moving? This down here is moving. Oh, yep, it was that. Okay. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Come on now. Doing this. Ugh. This is why two people would be much better. Come on. Doing this while holding both sides up is not easy, because the other side popped out as well. Okay. I'm gonna need a drink after this. This had better be worth it. Okay. Get in there. Okay. All right. Now, will you stay there long enough for me to tighten this piece? So I can't even see. I can't even see the hole right now. So I'm having to do everything by feel. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, that one's tight. I gotta do the other side too. Okay. Ow. So that was stressful. I had to put that this piece down here back on because it slid off. However, now I've moved this farther in so that this came at a higher angle and we can connect here. So now we need this piece here. So you're gonna put it on the end, I'll loosen it. Loosen both ends. Number one thing I would recommend is having 2 people, so one of you can hold. Let me just do that so it doesn't fall. There we go. So one of you can hold the pieces, especially when you put the 2 sides. Okay, so we're gonna pop this back on here. There. Tighten this. That's the other side. Okay. All right, so don't tighten it too much because you got to be able to move this to the right angle so you can connect this thing. All right, can you guys see? Just, okay, let's see. Oh, and miracles and miracles, it's actually seated properly so I can tighten it just the way it is. Now, do I want this at this angle? Or do I want it further down? I'm thinking I want it a little farther down. Let me do that. I wanted a bit of more of an angle as I'm working. I think, so this is where you have to decide. I think I want it more like this. Which I can do if I drop, hold on. If I drop this a bit, you can't see. I'm just thinking I wanted a bit of, on a bit more of an angle. Here, let me. So I'm going to drop this one, or this, down a little bit. So in order to do that, I just have to loosen this a little bit. There. So this comes down. I think I want it to come down like that. Okay. All right, so it's completely down now. All right, now oh, okay. Yeah, I think I want this on. Something is not right with this. Okay. Yeah. Can you guys see this? Okay, it was seated properly. Yeah. Let's come out of the groove. Okay. This does not seem right. Is this the right measurement? Let me see. One of these has to be the wrong size. So, okay, so the top one, this one needs to be 50. So that is correct. This one needs to be 42. And that is correct. The one at the bottom needs to be 50. And that is correct. So something is not right. Something is not correct because this piece here, look how much shorter it is. It's not, it's supposed to reach. You see? It's supposed to reach this bar to support it. Well, okay, hold on. It's not that far. It's not that bad. One sec. There we go. Again, painting fairy. Measurements as to how far these need to be would be very, very, very helpful. Okay, so okay. Crisis averted. Okay, so now I got this. Okay. Were you able to see that? Yep. So now one side is complete. Oh. Guess not. Oh my god. I swear this is like a comedy of errors here. I'm gonna have to go through everything and tighten everything up. Just didn't want to do it too much until I don't want to strip anything. There we go. And this is disconnected too. Okay. Okay. Let's come out of the track. So okay. There, like that. Oh, what side is it? Okay. Okay. All right, so when you're trying to put these pieces on, or this, in order to get this top piece onto these grooves properly, you have to loosen not just this, but this has to be loose as well. So you can't tighten this one down until you have this one in and tight, and then you can tighten that. Okay. Well, I hope that's okay now. Let's see our side. Whoop. Okay. Okay, one last piece. All right. Don't loosen it so much that the ball comes out. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to tighten it just a touch. Okay. Okay. So, we just have to slide this on here. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I have to move these. It's about there. that's how far apart mine is. Okay, on both sides. So I'm going to tighten these. Oops. Tighten those. Okay. Now, this, I have to loosen a bit more. Okay. There we go. That's great. There we go. Now we're on. Okay, that's tight. So now I can tighten this one. Okay. Whoop. There. Okay. Hopefully you were able to see that. One more piece. This one here. If you're following along, hopefully you don't make all the same mistakes I did. Because I'm not gonna lie, that video that they did, I wouldn't say it's completely useless, but it's not nearly as good as it could or should be. Oh, oh, oh. Too much. There we go. Come on. Get it on there. There we go. Let's tighten that a little bit. Okay. You can see this just. Okay. Okay, that's seated in there pretty good. And how far I left that? Right about there. Okay. Holy moly. Okay, so now we need to put these things on. First of all, let's put the end caps on here. Put one on the other side too. Okay. All right. And I'll put one. Ooh, sorry. Okay, well, I'm gonna put one on the back. Yeah, right there. The back. Whoops. Shit. Okay. Okay, so we have to put these pieces on the end of the front here. So where's my Allen key? Okay. I'm going to do the other side. All right. Now, okay, so they provide they provided these things, these caps, and I believe those go on the feet because the caps that fit here don't fit on those ones. So I'm gonna do that now. I think, anyways. Yeah, okay, so that's one. Two. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. There we go. Okay. So, this is the phone holder here. So we're going to start with a 21 centimeter piece, and we have those round pieces there. Which are these pieces here. Okay? So, now, Allen key. Loosen. Loosen. Okay. "21 centimeters. Okay, that's one side. Right. Okay, and I gotta okay. Okay, so this is the top. You're gonna have to ignore the mess. That bag over there is all the packaging. I think Painting Fairy must have shares in, oops. I think Painting Fairy must have shares in styrofoam, or not styrofoam, plus bubble wrap. No, it's not going on yet. I need to loosen it a bit more. There we go. Now it's in there. Okay, tighten that. So that is on there. Okay. So I've just put on the first piece. Now I need a 10 centimeter piece, which is 4 inches, and about this, and this piece as well. So let's grab that. Come on. Gotta listen in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, and how far? Oh, there's a bit of a burr here. So watch your fingers. I'm just gonna throw that out before it ends up in my cat's feet or my feet. Okay. Okay, so actually that's not how it goes. Okay, so we have this. We're gonna put this here. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna put this one in. There. Now we need a 35 centimeter piece. So measure tape. Make sure I have the right piece. Nope, that's 21. That's 30. Let's net it. How about this one? $30. $35. Okay. So have the right piece. This is going to go like so. Crosswise. I'm sorry about the light, guys, but unfortunately the stand is a little tall and I can't, I don't have a taller light stand. Okay, so I need, reach over to grab my stuff here. Okay. All right, so I need this piece here. Okay. So we're gonna put this, oops, sorry. Loosen it up. It's not going on the way. Okay, this way. This way. Filming this is a little bit awkward. It's the angles and stuff. There we go. Okay, so let's move that back up. And I'm gonna just tighten that one down. Hopefully I won't need to hopefully I won't need to loosen it again. Okay, that one. I need to loosen this one. No. Can you still see okay? Yep. Okay, so horizontally. Let's get this guy in there. I don't know, that's about halfway. Tighten that one first. Then I'll tighten this. Okay, now we need the 30 centimeter pieces, which I have here. Let's just make sure. Yeah. Okay, and I need, is it that one? Yeah, okay. And we need this piece here. So a reminder, this one has two screws in it. You gotta undo both of them. Okay, so finally got one done. But these things I want to point out. Okay, so it has a groove here. So you've got one piece going that way and then one piece going in the opposite direction. Now, these are a pain in the ass. And I finally had to just take one apart to figure out what the heck was going on, because trying to get, you have to hold one in, you have to hold it onto the bottom piece and then try to get the other one in the groove and hold it all together as one piece, and then tighten the screw. Now, let me just loosen this. I won't take it apart because I keep dropping it, but I finally took one apart. So there's two. So you see a nut, you see a nut there, and then you see the other end there. So it's actually just one screw with a nut on one side and a nut on the other side, or the piece that the thing goes into. Anyways, so that's the one that you need to tighten, and you need to know which direction you're going, so you're tightening it correctly as opposed to the other way. So let me I will try to do this on camera, but okay, so that one is okay. I think I need to loosen it a little bit more. Okay, doesn't want to. How about the other way? Okay, so it's on. It's on. Now I have to put it on here, similar to this one that you're seeing. This one here. Oh, right there. So I have to put it on here. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm gonna make you guys a little bit dizzy, but these pieces here are a pain in the butt. You have to sort of put these two pieces, like feed them in through the grooves, right? On each of these lengths, and then hold it all tight as a sandwich, trying to keep it in the groove while you tighten the while you tighten the screw, and it keeps coming apart. So I finally got them on. That took way longer than it should have. But anyways, they're on there. So I'm gonna move on to the next piece, which, so now we have these two vertical pieces, right? Okay. So it looks like I just have to put those knobby things on the end and then the caps, and we'll be done. Okay, so got those on. And now just gonna put the end caps on here. Which is hard to do one-handed. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the other ones on, and then I just realized I have 3 pieces left over, and I think they gave me the pieces for the thread hanger as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that together, and then I'll show you the whole thing in the end. Okay, so I've just put these 2 pieces on. So this was pretty simple. Just slide it on, put the short piece on, put the exact same piece, just slide that on, put this piece on, and now we have the larger piece that goes across the top here, where you can hang all your stuff in. So go ahead and grab this piece here, right? Oh, I guess I loosened it too much. So we're gonna put this on here, and then I'm gonna pick up. Okay, I loosened it way too much. So let's just pick that up for a sec. Okay, so if you do that, no big deal, just pop it back in. So we're gonna put it on the end here. This is gonna be really hard to do one-handed. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten this just a little bit so it stays, and then we'll put the other piece on. All right, so I just put that on. I just tightened it just a little bit so it stays on there, but now we're just going to slide this in here, and I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Okay, I'm going to finish sliding this to the middle and then just tighten it up. Okay, so I've put that piece on, I've tightened it. Remember, you have to, when you put this on, you have to tighten this first so this doesn't fall off, and then, or come out of the grooves while you're trying to tighten it, and then do this one. Okay, so I'm gonna put the end caps on, and then I will show you the whole thing assembled. Okay, so the whole thing is assembled. You can see, I'll come closer. So this is the tablet holder, and then the floss holder. I went back and checked, and yes, I did order actually the stand with both of those things. You can order them separately if you want. All right, there we go. There's the piece, there's the whole thing. Okay, and I did have a couple of pieces left over. Pardon my, that's how dirty my hands got with the metal, which is absolutely fine, it'll come off, but we did get a couple of extra screws and nuts, so that's for the feet there. So I will hang on to those just in case, but I will be back in a second. Okay, so here is the stand with also the scroll frame, also by Painting Fairy. I did not do a video on putting this together because it's really self-explanatory. It doesn't really take that much time. The only thing I would say is that they give you these end caps, but where the holes are to fit, where the holes are to so you can see here, I have this actually upside down. So there's these things you pull out and pop back in. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. You can't see, but anyways, it goes all the way into the groove here to lock it in place, so it doesn't come out. And those holes are very close to the edge, as you can see. So these don't really fit on there, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. It would be good if they could have these. I may actually do that. I may actually cut them halfway just to put them on there. And the only reason I would do that is because if I'm storing this standing upright, I don't want it to scratch my floors, which the edges would do. So, yeah. By the way, the frame is quite heavy. This is a 1.6 meter frame, as you can see. It's solid aluminum. It's heavy, but it's sturdy, and you get, right now I have it loose because I'm not working on this, but you get really drum tight tension. The way that you do that is actually just by turning these things. Which, as you can see, maybe you can see, extends this piece here, and then you get, that's not even as far as it'll go, but you get really tight tension, which I like. Okay, what else did I want to say? The stand itself, let me go back. So, hi. So the stand itself is not very heavy. I would say actually that the frame is heavier than the stand, because the frame is actually really heavy duty. I showed you the edges of those long pieces of aluminum, and they're quite thick. The pieces on the frame are not quite as thick, so there's not as much metal, not as heavy. But I'm really looking forward to using this. Let's see, putting it together. Putting it together was a bit of a pain in the butt. Not gonna lie. The video, yes, they have, Painting Fairy has a video on TikTok where they do a really fast motion thing, but it's also very close in, so you don't actually know which pieces, like there's so many pieces that are different lengths, and they don't tell you which of those lengths of pieces of frame they're putting the connectors on, the different types of connectors on. So you don't really know what you're building. It would be one thing if they said, okay, we're going to do we're doing the base, this is the piece, like put some better directions on. In the end, the best thing that helped me to put this together was not the video at all, but just the picture. So the picture, they give you the lengths of every piece so that you make sure that you're grabbing the right one, and you have to look really closely at what the connectors are, because there are different connectors. And yeah, so for example, right, there's these types of connectors with the ball joint. These are just the ends there, right? So there's these ones, which are, oh my God, they were such a huge pain in the butt. It was really hard to put these two pieces together with this. it took a long time. I would say that it got easier as, you know, after I did one or two, the other couple were a little bit easier, but not by much. But like I said, really the picture, look at the image. It actually helps by far the most. Yeah, and it'll tell you, like, even there are pieces that you have to connect together, like lengthwise. So that would be the back piece here. So this is a connector here. So they do show you that on video, how that piece goes together, but you have to know which pieces of aluminum go together. So go by the picture that they provide. And yeah, so all in all, it's taking me I don't even know what time it is. I do want to check because I want to know how long it's actually taking me to put this thing together. Oh my God. Okay. So it's taking me 4.5 hours to put this together. I don't think I'm especially slow, but yeah, it was definitely an experience. Now that I have this on, and you know, everything is fully adjustable as well. So, you know, there are a few times in the video where you will have seen, oh, I set this, you know, the bottom pieces of the stand being this piece and that piece. Again, they don't tell you either in the video or even on the picture that they send you with the thing. They don't tell you how far apart those need to be or where they need to be relative to the front and back of that horizontal piece. So it's a bit of it's meant to be flexible, so you can, you know, you can move stuff around to suit you, but it doesn't help when you're first trying to set the thing up. It's a little bit frustrating because you have to loosen and tighten all the connections again. And let me tell you something, hang on to that Allen key that they give you, because they do come loose. And they have come loose on me a few times, even though I've like really reefed on it to make it tight. When I move the stand or pick it up, sometimes they do, they have come apart. So let's see, I just want to show one more thing. Let me see, I'm gonna put another video here. Okay, so I want to show you about how flexible this stand is. So you can see where I have, right, those two vertical pieces where I have them so so this one here supports this diagonal piece, which in turn supports your frame, right? If I wanted this to be lower, so it's fully adjustable. So if I wanted the whole thing to be lower, then you just have to loosen that connector piece on the end there, drop the whole thing to whatever height you want. And also, if you wanted this to be tilted at a different angle, then again, you just have to play around with the height of the thing and how far away this vertical piece is from the back, and then that will adjust this one, right? Because if you move this one further out from the back piece, then this one will have a smaller angle, right? Which, anyways, the whole thing is fully adjustable, so you can really play around with it. Right now, I have it set so that I can actually stand. I'm actually standing at it, which is cool, because I don't like sitting down too much, but I think I probably will lower it. So what I'll do is I'll just, like I said, loosen these pieces drop it a little bit, which means I'll also have to move this piece out to lower it a little bit, just so that I can sit in my chair and do it. So yeah, so hopefully that was helpful. I'm sure this video is going to be super choppy because I'm going to cut pieces out. It's because the frame is so large, it's hard to it was hard to keep it in frame with the stand that I have. The one big recommendation I would give is to do it with 2 people. It would be a lot quicker and a lot less frustrating because especially when you have to connect the two side pieces together and you're trying to, it would be a lot easier with 2 people because one person could hold everything still while the other person put the connectors on and tighten them all up. It's my opinion. Like I said, it took me four and a half hours to put this thing together. I'm sure with 2 people it would have been a lot easier, but now it's going to take me longer actually to lower the thing. It won't take me that long though, because now that I know how the whole thing goes together, I know which pieces need to move and whatnot. It's definitely going to be easier. Having said that, I will probably wait for someone to be here to help me to make those changes, just so that I'm not super frustrated with one side versus the other. Yeah, so have 2 people. Look for the Allen wrench in the toolkit. I missed it at first because I didn't want to, it was in the little kit with all of the screws and nuts and stuff, and and the covers, the end caps. And I didn't want to open the whole thing because I didn't want everything to go flying everywhere. So I missed the Allen keys, but definitely hang on to those because, like I said, things do loosen up over time, so you're going to need it. What else? Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea with you, and enjoy. I'm really happy with the stand so far. It is very sturdy. I'm just pushing on it right now, and it's quite sturdy. It's not moving around much, and I'm really looking forward to using it. At some point I'll come back and I'll give you a bit of a better review as to how I am enjoying it once I actually start working on it. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I can't complain. The only thing I can complain about is the fact that it's putting it together is a chore, and it's not super simple. Yeah, it's definitely not super simple. So pay attention to the picture. Painting Fairy, thank you so much for sending me this. I think the product is quite high quality, and I think I'm going to be able to enjoy it for a lot of years. The only thing that I would suggest is to make it a little bit easier for people to put it together. Do not a slow motion, but just a normal pace video showing each and every piece that what pieces you're starting with, and the measurements and how far they are. Just do it so that people can follow along and not be as frustrated as I was to put it together. That would be my one bit of criticism. All right, I'm going to put this all together. Sorry it's going to be choppy, but it is what it is. And let me know if you have one, if you've tried to put it together. Let me know what your experience was. If you've had one for a while and you've been using it, I'd love to hear that as well. Okay, till next time. Bye. Okay, I finished adjusting this finally, so that when I sit, so that I can use it when I sit. Oh my God, this was not a fun exercise, I'll tell you that. I've basically spent all day on this. I am going to enjoy using it, but I hope I never have to take it apart and put it back together. That is part of the reason why I've done these videos, so that I can remind myself if I ever do have to move and change things up. So what did I do? I moved it down. So I moved this vertical piece, I moved it down. As you can see, it was closer, much closer to the top there. I had to move these a little bit farther apart so that this all came down, but that meant that I needed to literally take all of these, not completely off, but they did come off anyways because of these track things. And there were a lot of curse words being thrown around. The air was pretty blue because of these pieces here. They just don't want to sit properly. And even that one, you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's not quite in the groove there. And it should be, but they're not. I keep loosening them up and tightening them, and I just can't not get it to stay. I've dropped it a million times. It's come apart a million times. And yeah. Anyways, I finally got it. I adjusted the tablet stand as well, so that now it leans over and close over the scroll frame. Okay, I have adjusted the tablet stand. So now it comes over the scroll frame, and it's just because I wanted it there because it's closer. Right now I will be working on the far left, right? I'm working my way across. So I can move it. This has a joint there, so I can move it up and out of the way if I need to. But this way it's nice and close and convenient for me to mark things off. All right, so that was really annoying. But I think I've got it to where I want it. You just have to play around with it and have a lot of patience, let me tell you. But now that it's there, I don't see myself taking it apart unless, like I said, I have to move homes or something. I hope this was helpful for you. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, was the air as blue when you were putting this together, or did it go together really nicely for you? Okay, I did want to say something else. So the frame, the scroll frame that I showed you that was on there before, which is this one here. Now it is 160 centimeters and it fits really well on here. It does extend out maybe about 6 inches or so on each side, maybe a little bit more. But the point I wanted to make was that it is big. And this frame here that I've got on here is much shorter. Actually, I should have grabbed my measuring tape here. Let's see. So this frame is 33 inches and it does not fit on this, on the stand. I've made it fit by using these long screws with this thing. This actually came off a lap stand, so I put it on each side so that I could sit the frame on the stand. Now they say that the stand is fully adjustable, but does not mean the width. So each of those back pieces, there's 1, there's 2, and then there's 3, that you can't make them any shorter, right? So there's 2. I suppose you could just use 1 instead of 2, but then you would have a really narrow stand. So that would work. You could do that. It would be great if they came with It would be great if they came with, you know, like one shorter one as well. So like one that full size and then one just half size, so that you could make it, you know, not quite as wide as this whole thing, but still pretty wide. Anyways, I just wanted to make that point that if you work with really big frames, then yes, it'll work. But if you work with shorter scroll frames, you would have to make this entire thing half the width, which would be, I can tell you, let's see here. So it would only be about 18 inches, 18, 19, 18, about 18 inches wide. So that's not the end of the world either. But anyways, I did want to point that out.